I was in a cult. A lot of people ask me questions about this, and I'm going to be honest with you, I've already done sit downs with this. I've done it on TikTok, I've done a podcast, but an article was written about me in this cult, but I've never sat down and talked face to face with you guys, which obviously I'm talking to a camera, but you guys are right there. One time I was in a cult and it was really cutesy tootsy, and it actually led to my autoimmune disease, which is crazy. I don't really know if they're correlated, but I correlate them because correlation doesn't equal causation, but like I'm gonna say it does in this case. It doesn't in statistics, but like in Sydney's world it does. Anyways, let's start from the beginning of how I got into the cult. I will be honest with you, I feel like I'm pretty susceptible to cults. I've only been in one, but if you give me free merch and like a good time, like I'm probably gonna be there, you know? Also, one time when I was in college, my professor told me that I'd be a really great cult leader, and I didn't know if I should take offense to that or be happy. But just letting you know, my professor who studied cults told me that I'd be a really great cult leader. So maybe one day I'll start a cult. Who knows? A fun cult. Nothing crazy. We'll have fun. We're not gonna like drink Kool-Aid or anything like that. Anyways, Melvin is sitting here so cutie patootie. Let me show you. Just watching me. Hi, Melly Moo. Anyways, back to my story. So it was the summer after my freshman year of college. I was studying to be a pastor, if you didn't know. That's a whole other story for a whole other time. But I was studying to be a pastor, and one of my interests was in being a pastor abroad. And I specifically wanted to be a pastor in an English-speaking country. The reason why I want to be a pastor abroad is so freaking selfish, I'll be so honest with you. I should have never been a pastor, okay? I'm not a pastor, but I was like, I want to travel. I want to live in Ireland. I want to live in London. So I was like, I can be a pastor in those countries and do it for the Lord. I was being selfish. Anyways, I was encouraged by one of my professors to serve a mission over the summer, whether that be working for a soup kitchen or going abroad and doing something, or working in your church, like something in the realm of church service is what I was supposed to do. So I was like, noted. Well, I want to live in Ireland. Okay. I want to live in Ireland. I want to be a pastor in Ireland. So what if I do a missions trip attached to a church in Ireland? That way I can make the church fall in love with me. And then upon graduation, they're going to want to hire me. That was my whole mindset of this mission trip, okay? Little did I know that I was joining a cult. Let me clear something up really quickly. The church that I was working with in Ireland, not the cult. The program in which I went to Ireland to serve in the church, that organization is a cult. Okay? So I applied to get into this cult, this mission trip, and I got accepted, and then all you had to do was raise $3,000. Okay, I've raised money before, so I made t-shirts and I asked for money and I posted on my Instagram stories, and then I raised, I think $1,500, and I just paid the other $1,500. I was like, actually, I think it was $3,500. So I paid $2,000, okay, to go serve a mission in Ireland. First up, I got accepted, all that jazz, and then they were like, maybe a month before it was a whole month, okay? Sorry, I'm going all over the place. It was a whole month. It was gonna be the month of July 2015, and I was psyched. I was stoked. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go do this. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna bring so many people to like follow the Lord. Just so you know, Ireland is like predominantly Catholic. And Catholicism, Christianity, same thing. So I don't know why I was going here, but that's besides the point. So about a month before the mission trip was supposed to start, I got an email from the organization, and the organization was called Global Expeditions. There is a documentary on Amazon Prime called Shiny Happy People Season 2 that is about the cult that I was in. So if you want to fact check anything that I'm talking about, it's there. Okay? I'm not telling lies, I'm telling the truth. So it was this organization called Global Expedition, which was a subsidiary of a larger organization called Teen Mania. If you ever heard of Teen Mania, it's psychotic and occult. They also have this thing called Honor Academy. I never went to it, but I guarantee you, if I had heard about the Honor Academy before I heard about Global Expeditions, I would have been in the Honor Academy. I can guarantee you I would have quit because it was like military training. It was like militant for God. Crazy. I would have quit because I'm lazy. But yeah, I would have 100% gone there. So a month before, Global Expeditions emailed me and said, hey, Sydney, we think you are a great candidate for our leadership program. Would you like to come out to Texas 4 days early and come train with us to be a leader? And I was like, hell yeah, I do. You think that I have leader qualities? Sign me up. So I got my notice of when I'm supposed to show up, and I got my flights and everything. And then I got an email with my packing list, and the packing list had on it peanut butter and jelly. And I was like, that is strange. But maybe there's a service day where we're making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for people in Ireland who have food insecurities. Wrong-o! I was not making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to serve people. I was bringing peanut butter and jelly because that is what I was going to be eating for a month. We were allowed to eat peanut butter and jelly. I will say one night we got chili, delicious, but we ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a month that we packed. We packed it. Anywho's, that's one thing. Crazy. They have to control. One sign of being in a cult is they control what you eat. Hello, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So I get to Texas, I give them my peanut butter and jelly, and they're like, thank you so much. Okay, you're gonna go sit in these intensive brainwashing sessions all day. So we're sitting in these sessions, and I still have my journal of like notes and notes and notes, and I was studious. I was like, yeah, these are such great ideas. Yeah, oh, that's a little indoctrinating. Okay, oh, we have to do that. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, you want us to do a play about demons and get people to come to Christianity because they're afraid of demons? That's an interesting approach. But I saw nothing crazy about it. So then we're having all of these meetings and we're in these sessions, and then we start learning these plays where we're playing the devil and a demon and all these things, and it's so fucking creepy, and I'm sitting there like, what did I get myself into? Okay, I don't believe in demons. I don't subscribe to that culture. Like, I can't, probably because I'm scared of it, but that's fine. Like, I can't subscribe to that culture. So I'm like freaking out. And by the way, we don't have our cell phones. They took our cell phones. We don't actually know. At that point in time, we had our cell phones. So I called my mom and I was like, this is kind of scary. We're learning about demons. And she goes, well, yeah, like the church is like big on demons. And I'm like, our church isn't. Anyways, so I was already starting to get a little bit of like weirdness. So then all of the other missionaries came, the ones who were not invited to leadership. I was told, congratulations, Sydney. Melvin, come here. What are you doing? Congratulations, Sydney. You are a missionary advisor, an MA. I was like, oh my God, thank you. I'm so excited. So I was a leader on this trip. So now, not only am I in the cult, I'm like leading the cult. Crazy. I mean, I'm not really like a cult leader, but like I'm higher up, you know? I'm higher up than just a normie. Anyways, so then all the missionaries get there, and then now I'm tasked with like indoctrinating these people, and none of them are kids, everybody's over 18, into the cult that I have just been made a leader of. Psychotic. So the first night we're like learning more things. We have another session of like indoctrination and brainwashing. And then we have this cry night. And if you've never been to a church camp or anything like that, a cry night is where they play beautiful worship music. You're tired because you've been out all day. Also, it was the middle of summer in Texas, and we were standing outside learning all of these plays, so we were hot and tired and probably dehydrated. So we're all feeling all sorts of things, and cry night is where they like indoctrinate you further and are like, yeah, you're crying for Jesus because the Spirit has moved you. The Spirit has not moved you. You're overtired. You're dehydrated. You need a nap, is the truth. So then this guy comes out who ends up being the cult leader, Ron, and he is talking to us about how we're change makers and this world is doomed without us. And I myself, Sydney Benjamin, am going to go out and serve the Lord, and I am going to go change everybody, and I am going to be the reason why the devil doesn't come into Ireland. what? So crazy. But I'm sitting there like, what the hell is going on? And everybody's like, yeah, yeah. People are crying. People are dancing, waving their hands around. People are speaking in tongues. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell did I get myself into? So then I'm like having a panic attack because I'm like, holy shit, I'm in danger. This is not good, okay? So I'm having a panic attack. I can't breathe. And I'm like, I'm going to go outside to try and breathe. I'm in Texas. It's like 155,000 degrees outside and it's humid as. So I'm outside. I still can't breathe because I'm like, I was inside in the air conditioning, but that room felt like I was in Hades. I was in hell. And sorry, Melvin, it keeps going behind me and doing something crazy. And then I go outside and I'm even deeper in hell. So I'm sitting there and my team leader so it's like MA, team leader, and then somebody else, I can't remember. The team leader comes up and is like, Sydney, you're feeling so many things. It's so great. This is so great. This is so great. Give it up to the Lord. Give it up to the Lord. Speak in tongues. And I was like, I don't speak in tongues. That's not what I do. I don't know how to do that. And she's like, I'm like, probably need to go to the hospital. And she's like, yeah, let it all out. Let it all out. Let the spirit in. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? So I was like, okay, let's appease her. And I like start like, I don't know how to speak in tongues. Okay, it's not a gift that I was given. I don't know. So I go back in and I'm like, we leave for Ireland tomorrow and I am in trouble. I still didn't feel like at that point I was like in a cult. I just felt like these people are crazy. So then we go to Ireland. We land in Ireland and immediately when we land in Ireland, they take our phone, they take our passport, they take our wallets. We were allowed to keep cash. That means I have no way to contact my parents. I have no way to escape the country. I have no way to purchase a plane ticket out of the country. Now, listen, what they didn't know is I'm psychotic and I knew my debit card and credit card number by heart, which served me well later in the week. So I was supposed to be in country for like 4 weeks. We get there, I have no phone, I have blah, 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 whatever. We get to the church. And listen, I knew we were on a mission, so I didn't expect us to be put up in hotels. What I did expect was like a cot or like something comfortable to sleep on. What I was given was the hard church floor. The floor. So I slept on the floor for 4 weeks, which was so fantastic. There was, we weren't allowed to go to the bathroom alone. We always had to be with a buddy. You literally could not go to the bathroom alone. And by the way, the bathroom, single stall. Single stall. You had to be in the bathroom with somebody else. You weren't allowed to go brush your teeth alone. We weren't allowed to shower. They told us that the Irish only shower once a week. Once a week. They literally told us that the Irish only shower once a week. That is not true. That is literally not true. Melvin, come here. He wants to go outside, but I'm filming this video and I'm almost done. Actually, I'm not really almost done, but Melvin, come here. Come here, bud. Come here. So we were only allowed to shower once a week. And skipping forward a little bit, I have really bad psoriasis on my scalp. I need to wash my hair every couple days, okay? Or else my scalp peels off. It's very, very painful. So my scalp started bleeding and peeling off. And I was like, I really need to wash my hair. And she's like, you may not. And I was like, can I please go wash my hair? She, as in the team leader, you may not. And I said, please, can I go wash my hair in the sink? I'm in a lot of pain. And she's like, you may not. Obviously I did. I waited till everyone was asleep and then I snuck off to the bathroom and I washed my hair and there was blood everywhere and it was very painful. I survived that though. Don't worry. Going back. So when we got in country, we were still learning the scary skits. We were taught that we were not allowed to speak to anyone. We were not allowed to speak to we were there to evangelize to people. And we were told we're not allowed to speak to anybody as long as we are not allowed to speak to anybody without somebody in charge with us. That's crazy. That's crazy. So that was a whole big thing. And then the first week we were leading VBS and we had to come up with a curriculum. Now I've done a lot of VBSs, so it was fun. I had a great time. That wasn't a scary section. The next week is when it started getting real scary. Every morning we had to journal for an hour. We had a devotional to do, which is fine. That's normal. My journals, I still have it from the beginning of the trip to the end of the trip are like, get me out, help, help, help. From the beginning, it's like, this is weird. I don't know if I agree with this. I feel funny. Oh my God, I'm in a cult. Maybe I should contact my parents. How am I going to get out of Ireland? I'm in a cult. So it very progressively got worse. The second week, and I'm forgetting things, like obviously I have podcasts and other videos that probably share more, but the second week was our mission outside. So we first went on a prayer walk where we walked from the church to the town. So once we were on the walk, we were told that we had to pray. I'm a very I pray, or I used to pray, but I did it silently to myself. I was taught that prayer was personal. They wanted us to shout our prayers, yell our prayers, so that it covered the city. As in, if our voices were loud enough, the entire city could hear it, and then our prayer would mean more. So we're on a prayer walk, and everybody's starting, and then it's my turn. And they're like, Sydney, it's your time to pray. And I'm like, okay. And I don't say anything. And they're like, pray, Sydney. I'm like, I am. And they're like, louder. And so I start praying out loud, and I'm like, God, please be with us. And when we're evangelizing to people, let their hearts be open. And they're like, louder. And God, let my light shine in louder. And I'm like, now I'm yelling this prayer, and I'm like, oh my God, I sound fucking demonic. I sound demonic, like literally so crazy. So I'm like very uncomfortable. I don't like this. We get to the town, and they're like, okay, split up into your groups. You're the leader, you're the leader, you're the leader, you're the leader. Go talk to people. We were in groups of 3, and my group were on one of the streets, whatever, and this old guy was sitting on a bench, and I was like, my feet kind of hurt. Let me go sit down next to him. So my other 2, people that I was in charge of, kind of had wandered away. They weren't far. They were probably talking to somebody else, I don't know, 5 feet away. Nothing crazy. He had a cell phone out, and I was talking to him, and I was just trying to get to know the guy, I was like, hi, I'm Sydney, I'm from America, I'm just in Ireland, meeting people and stuff like that, and he's talking to me, and we're having a great conversation, and he's telling me about his kids, and his daughter, and his daughter's coming to visit him next week, and it's a whole big thing of I'm hearing about him from him, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so fun, do you go to church on Sundays? And we're talking about that, and he's like, yeah, I do, blah, blah, whatever, but I really fallen off from God and stuff like that, and it's hard. And I was like, oh yeah, I totally, mind you, he's in his 60s, I'm 20. This is freaking crazy. So I start evangelizing to him, and he has his cell phone out, and my team leader comes up, literally running at me, grabs my arm, pulls me away, and says, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just talking to him. With a cell phone? Who did you call? Who did you text? And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't text anybody, I didn't call anybody, I was just talking to him. And so then I got punished, and I was sent back to the church, and I had to sit there, and it was bad. It was bad. And that was my first major sign of I gotta get help. So 2 days later, I'm the MA, so I was in charge of the girls when the team leader, and there was another leader on top of her. I can't remember what that leadership position was called. But they went out for a treat night. Basically, they went to a steak restaurant and took all of the money that we raised for this mission trip and went to a freaking steak dinner without us. Crazy, while we were eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you about the food. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me back up. I will come back to this story. We were only allowed to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, right? Here is the kicker. We brought the peanut butter and jelly to the country. Were we allowed to just freely eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? No. We had to say a chant before being served a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. If we could not say the chant, we did not eat that day. Did they teach us the chant? Did they give it to us written on a paper? No, they did not. Every day we had to try and learn it based off of the leader saying it one time. And it was a lengthy chant, okay? I don't want to say 5 minutes long, but it was a paragraph, it was long. I didn't eat for 3 days because I was like, I can't get this. You would mess up and they'd be like, nope, start over. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Obviously, I snuck out of the kitchen and stole some things because I was starving. But anyways, that's another, withholding food, that's a cult. You're in a cult. You're being abused. Crazy. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So after this whole incident of me getting in trouble for talking to a man, literally wasn't even using his phone, I was like, I need to send for help. I don't have a cell phone. I don't have any, like, there's no phones in the church that I can use. Like, this is dangerous. So they're at their steak dinner, and I find out that one of the girls has her iPad. And I was like, hey, girly pop, can I borrow your iPad for a second? And she's like, yeah, of course. Like, I have the Bible app downloaded on it. I was like, cool. Great. Immediately went to the Wi-Fi. There was password protected Wi-Fi. However, I found a Wi-Fi network that if I just paid $10, I could have unlimited Wi-Fi for the month. Thank God I had my debit card and credit card memorized. So I whipped out my memory. I said, okay, get me this Wi-Fi. I got on the Wi-Fi. I went into my Facebook. I logged into my Facebook and I sent a message to my mom. Mom, I'm in a cult. Come get me. Help. SOS. It was the middle of the night. That was actually like midday. It was like probably 10 p.m. Ireland. It was like middle of the day, California. My mom is like, oh my God, call me immediately. I was like, girl, they stole my phone. I don't have it. I don't have my passport. I don't have my phone. I don't have my wallet. I don't have anything. She's like, how are you contacting me? I'm like, I'm on somebody's iPad that I borrowed, and she doesn't even know that I'm on the internet. And basically my mom was like, oh my God, what do we do? My mom is talking with my dad. What do we do? And they're like freaking out. I'm freaking out. And they're like, oh my God, our baby's in a cult. And my mom was like immediately going to fly to Ireland to like come save me. And I was like thinking about it. And I like racked up the cost in my head of like a last minute ticket round trip for my mom, one-way ticket home for me. And like, to me, that was like, I thought at the time like $7,000. And I was like, that's not worth it. I can make it. So I told my parents not to come get me and that I was just being dramatic and I would survive this cult, but like let it be known that I was in a cult. And they were like, okay, be safe. And I like texted my friends and like all these, like it was bad. So anyways, I had access to the outside world, which was great. Also, this was the year that gay marriage was legalized in America. And you better believe I was sitting at lunch with everybody in the rectory, which was the pastor's house in Ireland. And we're having a discussion. We're eating our peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And we're having a discussion about how gay marriage is an abomination. And I'm like, well, I think. And my leader looked at me and was like, are you gay? And I was like, no, but I do support gay marriage. Maybe I'm wrong. And she's like, you're wrong. It's in the Bible. And I was like, well, there's also like, you can like sell your children to slavery and like kill people in the Bible. So like, I don't know if that's right. So yeah, I was trying to defend gay marriage back in 2015. And I quickly was like, oh, don't talk about that. Just don't share your views on that. So that was a crazy time as well. And then I got sick. I got really sick. I always was sick as a kid. I got really sick and they were like, it's the devil in you. And I'm like, oh my God, I think I just have a cold. I don't know. So they like literally like shunned me from everybody. They're like, you have the devil in you. And I'm like, I really don't think I have the devil in me. I think I just have a cold. And they made me wear these shoes that were really uncomfortable. They were shoes that I brought, but I brought 3 pair of shoes and they would only let me wear 1 pair of shoes. I don't know why. To this day, I don't know why, but they were really painful. So I'm sick and my feet are in pain. And I wasn't getting better. It turns out I had an autoimmune disease, and you get an autoimmune disease when you are sick and your body is in fight or flight. I'm also like predisposed to it. So like, it's not fully this cult's fault, but like, I'm going to blame the cult. Okay. And I reserve the right to do that. My body was in fight or flight and like I wasn't getting better. My immune system was attacking itself. My feet were in pain. So like my immune system started attacking my feet. And that's how I got ankylosing spondylitis. That's not really the whole story, but like that's part of it. Anyways, they took me out of ministry for a day because I was sick and they thought the devil was in me. And one of the leaders was like, I'm going to pray over you. And I'm like, okay. And she was like exorcising the demon out of me. Freaking crazy. So then we had all of these things. We're going around. We're doing these demonic skits that are so scary, so crazy. And one of the songs that we did the skits to was going viral on TikTok a couple years ago. And I literally was like, God, it's like Dorime. Latin, I don't know, scary. Anyways, then it came time for us to go home back to the United States. And I land in California. And I'm like, Mom, my mom comes and picks me up. Mom, I was in a cult. I'm so scared. 2 weeks later, Global Expeditions is shut down. Teen Mania is shut down. It comes out that it for sure was a cult. People were going crazy about it. And the entire time I knew, not the entire time, but like essentially a weekend, I was like, yeah, I'm in a cult. So that's the time that I survived a cult. Cutie little story. I'm alive. I do have an autoimmune disease and a whole lot of trauma from it. I have been back to Ireland though. So Ireland has been redeemed for me. I haven't been back to the town where this church was, but that's besides the point. But yeah, that's the time that I was in a cult. I don't have plans on joining any more cults. And I don't plan on starting any cults. But who's to say? Just kidding. I'm not starting a cult. It's fine. It's fine. Anyways, all is well. All is good. I survived. And now I have a great story. And that's the real kicker. I think a lot of things are worth it in life for the story, you know? Do it for the plot. Join a cult for the plot. Don't join a cult. Please don't join a cult. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Probably not tomorrow. This is my 8th video in a row, but maybe. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll get back to you. And if you haven't already, you should subscribe. I have great stories. I've lived a lot of lives.